Hey guys, xxxtentacion here and welcome back to the channel. I've been asked multiple times to do tutorials on all the beats I'm currently remaking from Chapman TV's videos. So of course I will show you how I made them. In this video I will be going over how I made the beat from, or how I remade the beat from 808 Mafia, Southside and TM8 working new DJ Khaled video by Chapman TV. So let's just get straight into it. The absolute first thing I do whenever I'm planning to remake a beat is go onto the video where the beat originally is, then copy the link and go onto a new link and open up ytmp3.cc. Then you paste in the link, convert it and download it. When you finish downloading the video, throw the mp3 into FL Studio and find a section of the video where the beat is looping, for example here. When you found a part where you can loop the beat, go ahead and cut out that part. And you want to make sure that you're cutting off the edges so it's a nice perfect loop. You can cut the loop nicely by dragging it down to a new track, hit up here and select none. And then go in as close as you can and try to take as much of the end off. I can see the 808 is gonna hit here, so I'm just gonna cut this section off. And I'm gonna go to the other end of the little loop I just downloaded here. And I'm gonna cut until I'm gonna drag it out until I find another 808 hitting. And this is where the loop will start over. So I'm gonna cut this off right about here. Just a little more off. Actually, I will need to go back here and make it a bit longer. Like so. The next thing you want to do is right click in the corner of it right here and press make unique as sample. Once you've done that, you can proceed to go up in the corner of the unique sample you just made, right click the corner and press detect tempo. Now usually in Southside's and TM88's beats, the BPM will be between 100 to 200, so you want to press that button. It will now detect the tempo of the sample, and it has been detected to this weird number, but it's not totally accurate, so you just run a round up because nobody uses weird BPMs like this, so just round it up to 152 like so. Then you can proceed to make the melodies. Before making the actual melody, I had to find the preset that Southside used. I had to do a bit of digging, and to find the preset I went back into the video. I found a place in the video where he had Omnisphere opened, and I could see that this is where all the sounds are stored, and under this tab over here on the left is the category, then the type, the mood, and something else. And then over here on the right is where all the sounds are stored. So I could see that the category he used was ARPs and BPM. This was not set to anything, it was set as at all. And then for the mood, he chose something around the top. And then where he picked the sound, the scroll bar over here, where you like scroll up and down, will scroll down to like the bottom area, but not all the way. So I had to do a bit of guessing to where the actual preset was. So I opened my own instance of Omnisphere. I went under ARP plus BPM. Then I chose all to begin with, dramatic and all. And here I found the preset Largo Pesante. It is also stored under BPM keys as you saw before. And if we take a listen to that really quick. You can hear that it sounds exactly like the preset he used. It is also the actual preset he used. So now I had to draw in the actual melody and MIDI for the beat. So I went back into the Chapman beat video. I found a place in the video where he just finished doing the actual melody, and then I started to guess around on the piano roll where the root key was located. And then after a bit of digging, I found that it was in C. And then I started to kind of guess around where these notes were placed, and also while also listening, of course, and I ended up making the exact same MIDI. Now you would think that there was an effect, like a growth speed effect or effectrix effect on it here at the end, but it is actually just the preset that is making that reversed kind of sound to it. Then what Southside actually did was just to paste the same melody throughout a long track and then just copy the whole thing and go up an octave like this. Then he didn't keep it like this, he of course put some effects on it. And in the video it is pretty clear to see that he put both growth speed and I just EQ'd it. But in growth speed he of course half sped it. If you right click the presets or the small arrows up here, you can right click and press momentary and then choose a half speed. And now it sounds like this. And I just took a bit of the lows out, like just drag it down like this to make the 808 slap through the mix more when I get to that part. So now I had the first melody down, but also there was a second melody, so I needed to figure out how to make the second melody. So before making the second melody, then just as we did at the first melody, we needed to find the preset. So I went back in the video and found out where he was browsing the Omnisphere sounds and where he chose the sound for the next melody. I did just as before and looked at the categories, but he didn't really choose anything but the folder ARPs and BPM, so I had to do a bit more guessing. It was harder to find this, but I noticed that he was scrolled down like almost at the bottom actually. So I of course went back into FL Studio and opened up my own Omnisphere instance again, went into the ARP plus BPM folder and browsed around the bottom of the sound sections to find the actual sound. I'd had to try so many sounds actually to find it, and I finally found the sound called Resonation Cycles. So now I had the sound, but I needed to do the melody, and it was quite simple as he just copied the main melody and pasted it into this instance of Omnisphere. And he of course put some effects on it. He put effectrix and I just did my own EQ. But if we listen to it without the effects on, it sounds like this. Already there it sounds 100% accurate. But what he did was I went back in the video and I saw that he played with some effectrix effects right here, where you can see that he put effectrix on and used the reverse preset in a couple of places. So of course I went back in FL Studio, did exactly the same, and out came this. Not much of a change, but it made the sound so much more accurate. So both of the melodies together would sound like this. So now I have both of the melodies down. The next thing I usually do when making remakes of beats is do the hi-hats, as they are probably the hardest of the drums to make, especially Southside beats, as they are so all around the place and complicated. So I went back and got the MP3 file for the video, and I found a part where he was playing the melodies and drums alone without the 808, so I could clearly hear the hi-hats. So I just found where it looped, or where it started. Right here. And I just cut it right, so it started exactly when it is supposed to be when the loop begins. So I just cut it to around here. And because we set the BPM to be the same as in the actual beat, we can now just cut it to fill out 4 bars here, like so. And out from that we can start making the hi-hats. When Southside makes beats, the hi-hat he uses is always this one called hit 1. He like always uses that hi-hat, and so of course I knew what hi-hat I was supposed to use. And what I did with the hi-hat before making the actual pattern was go into the settings of it here, and I just drag the out knob up a bit to make it more clicky. As to where you can hear here is it is a bit wider, so just drag this up a quarter of the way to make it tighter, like so. Then I just proceeded to fuck around with the hi-hats, and I listened closely from the actual beat, and I managed to come up with the actual hi-hats for it. And if you want a closer look, here in the beginning it just placed these 3 notes, and I actually placed one up here as well. You don't need to. Then a short roll comes here. I'm not sure what I did. I think I did yeah, I did a 3rd step. So just go up here, press a 3rd step, choose the paintbrush here, and then you can paint in your hi-hats like so. So that's what I did. And then over here they are becoming much faster, the hi-hat roll, so I think I did 1/4 here. If I zoom in, they are matching the grid, so I just did with a 4th step like so. And for the next roll, it is a very deep roll all the way down here. I did 2nd step or a 1/2 step, and I just painted in it like all the others. And then another roll comes, and this is probably made in 3rd step, yes. And the next one right here made with 4th step, and this one down here made with probably a 1/2 step, yep. Next one made with 3rd, I think, yep. And the next 2nd step, and over here 3rd step, and that was basically it. But for every bar there's these or every 2nd bar actually, there are these triple rolls right here, which is just made with if you go to cell, he just put another one in between. But for some of them they went up an octave in the roll, so of course I did that too. So now we had the hi-hats down, we just needed to layer the clap and snare, and then proceed to the 808. So for the clap he used the normal Luger clap. It is actually in the starter kit I dropped from my the Producer's Bible. You can go download that if you just find one of my tutorials from the Producer's Bible. The link to that starter drum kit will be in the description. The clap sounds like this. Personally, one of my favorite claps, as it is so neutral but hard. For the snare, he didn't use this exact one, but I couldn't be bothered to go up, look around for the exact same one, so I just picked one that sounded similar, as many snares do. And the patterns are, for the clap, just in the middle of every bar, pretty standard. And for the snare, it hits on top of every clap, but also has these double hits right here to make some bounce. So that was the clap and snare. Now we move on to the 808. For the 808 pattern, it was also pretty simple. In the actual video, the 808 is out of key, but I knew that the root key was C from the melodies, so I just fixed it, because I hate when the 808s are out of key. So in the, just to mention, in the actual video, the 808s were in B, so they were just a key out of key, one key out of key, if you get what I mean. but I just placed it back in C because it sounded much better. And then it proceeds pretty simplistic like so, and then here at the end of one half of the loop it goes up to the G note, then proceeds the same kind of loop, and then it goes up twice to G here, and then hits a couple of C notes more, and then up to G again. It sounds pretty simple. I think you get the idea. So the 808 used was the Spins 808s. What a surprise. Remember when you're dealing with 808s to right click the sample of the sound and press cut itself to make sure they aren't clashing. So now we can move on to another instrument, which was this little percussion. It's not actually the exact same either, it sounded similar, couldn't be bothered to find the exact same one, but it was like very similar. So in the actual video there was the kick either, but I just added that because it would sound a bit boring without a kick. I love my kicks, so I just placed a kick on top of every 808 note except the ones that go up to G. So if we listen to everything together, let's just solo, remove these, and remove this, and let's take a listen.
Trying to make the beat go.
I think you get the deal. Another thing that is worth to show is where I half-timed the second melody. Which was also done in the actual beat. What I did was just go in, growth speed, half-time it. To automate it, I just drag the volume button or a knob all the way down, right click, press create automation clip. It will give you this sort of box, and I would have it off when I didn't want it to here in the beginning, and then I would just make it go all the way up here, and turn off as well when it should not play like that anymore. So that was pretty simple. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked the video. I hope it helped you understand how I made the beat and how the original beat was made. And hopefully you learned something from it, something you can implement in your own beat making style. And yeah, I will do some more tutorials for the other remakes of the beats. If you just comment down below what the next tutorial should be about, like which beat I should do a tutorial on, it will be highly appreciated, and then you can expect that very soon as well. So subscribe, like the video, and I will see you next time. Peace.